Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Pilates Mom. So thanks for joining me again. Today's lesson is going to be a reformer session. Okay, it's going to be focusing on a lot of unilateral work. Okay, a lot of us is very common to have one side that's a little bit more dominant than the other. So this might expose some of those imbalances, some of the strength deficits from one side to another. So just pay attention as you kind of flow through this routine. It's a good kind of learning tool for you as you work to kind of balance out our body, right? Pilates is all about kind of uniform development. Okay, so that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Okay, everybody, so let's get going here. So let's all set up our reformer before we go on to our back. Our foot bar is up, my headrest is up, and I have three springs on. Now, please, again, make note that my springs that I have here, they are all the same resistance. They're all heavy. Okay, so I have three of them on. So at home, adjust. Remember, we are going to be doing a lot of unilateral leg work and arm work. So we'll do some bilateral too. So both legs are going to be working at the same time as well. But when we transition to one, you might need to lower the resistance. So please feel free to hit pause at any moment, adjust the springs so that you're working in a safe level, okay, your own working level. So we want it to be challenging, but I don't want you straining. All right, so you need to find that balance. I will make some suggestions and modifications, of course, but again, feel free, you're your best advocate when it comes to your own level of working. Okay, so once you have that all set, let's come on to our back. All right, so let's swing those feet to the platform. Hold at the back of our knees. We'll take a nice inhale, sitting tall. Exhale as we scoop and round our belly all the way to our back. Transition those feet up to the foot bar. All right, make sure we're in our neutral spine. That tailbone is reaching long. All right. Remember, we want to think about as we're breathing here, this is our warm up, right? We want our ribs to expand on the inhale through our nose, and we want the ribs to really pull down as the belly scoops up and in. All right, so good things to remember as we go through all of these footwork exercises. All right, so our toe joint is on. We're in our Pilates V position, and the heels are lifted. We're going to take an inhale to go back and an exhale to close. Here we go. Inhale. 2 and exhale, close the carriage. Good. Inhale and exhale and inhale. Exhale. Nice inhale. Exhale. Good. Keep going. Keep the breath flowing. Keep that tailbone reaching long. Pull those ribs down. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Lift our knees up using the belly. And then lower both feet to the foot bar for our bird on a perch. Those heels are reaching under the bar as the toes reach over. As we inhale, I want you to think about those heels reaching further under the bar, and then exhale, close. Remember, our knees are together, ankles are together. Inhale, exhale. Good. Inhale, exhale. Nice. Inhale, exhale. Good. Inhale. Really working our ankles here. Inhale. Lots of flexion in those ankles. Keep that tailbone down. Keep our breath flowing. Good. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Very nice. Lift both knees up using the belly and flex the feet and lower the heels to the bar. We want those toes reaching up nice and tall towards the ceiling. All right, so we're actively flexing through our ankle. Here we go for another set of 10. Inhale, push through those heels, and exhale, close. Inhale, exhale. Now let's make sure we're not jamming into our knees, right? We're trying to control our motion. Okay, inhale, exhale. We want them to go straight, but I don't want hyperextension, right? So we don't want to jam into it and lock out our knees. Inhale, exhale. Good. Let's take 3. Close. Good. 2. Release. And last one. Okay, here we go. We're starting our transition to single leg work. All right, so my left leg is up in tabletop, and we're going to push with our right. So again, here we go. Inhale out. Exhale, close. Good. 2. Release. And 3. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Exhale. Good. Last 2. Here we go. Nice, really pushing with that glute. Good, and close. Transition that left down and lift our right. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Good. 2. Release. And a 3. Release. Inhale. Good, halfway. Good, and 6. Release. And 7. Nice. 8. Good, 9. Last time, and press and release. Good. Lower those feet back to the foot bar. Keep the feet parallel and together along with our knees. Let's find that high heel position. Okay, we're going to do our calf stretch. So inhale the carriage all the way out. Okay, now lower the heels under the bar and lift the heels. Good. So inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale. 5 more. Here's 5. Good. And 4. Control the descend. Good. 3. Don't let those springs win. 2. Nice. And 1. Stay lifted. If you can, let's bring one knee up to tabletop. We'll do a single leg heel raise. Okay, so lower that heel down and lift it up. Ooh, a lot harder. 2. Good. 3. 4. We just have 1 more. And 5. Keep that heel lifted. Lower the left to meet it. Okay, now bring the right on up. Here we go. 5 with the left. Lower down. Lift. Good. And lift. Exhale. Inhale. Last 2. Down. And lift. And down. Good. And lift. Return that right leg to the bar and lower both heels under and just feel a stretch. Maybe even bend one knee and just kind of stretch out those calves. Okay, and then transition to the other side. Good. Make sure you're breathing here into it. Nice. Okay, lift those heels nice and tall and close the carriage all the way. Okay, let's bring those legs to tabletop. All right, I'm going to find my upper ab curl and kind of tease her up. Keep those legs up if you can. I am bumping down to 2 heavy springs. Okay, I'm going to swing my legs around and control myself back onto my back. We're going to go into some upper body work. Okay, I have the small strap that my hand's going to go into. Now I want our legs to go up to tabletop. Okay, so we're just going to use our left arm for right now. So we're going to inhale here and exhale. We're going to use the opposite arm if you need. Good. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Okay, inhale, exhale. Nice. So you're pulling mostly with the left arm. The right's just maybe assisting just a little. Good. Now as we pull down, okay, we're going to change it up. We're going to add a left leg extension as the left arm pulls down. So here we go. So exhale, reach left leg, right, and left arm rather, and then bring back to tabletop. And then repeat and release. Good. Stretch. Release. Good. Stretch. Release. Give me 3 more. Good. And release. Last 2. Release. Good. And last 1. And release. Nicely done. Lower those feet to the foot bar. Hang that handle up and switch to the other side. Okay. Okay, my hand is in that small strap. Feet are up to tabletop. My left hand is along the wrist, all right, just to add a little bit of assist. Okay, so here we go. We're going to pull straight down. Good. Inhale to return. Exhale to lower. Inhale here. Exhale down. And inhale, rise. Last 2. Good. Then we're going to add that leg. Here we go. Last 1. Good. And here we go. Right arm is pulling down as the right leg extends over the bar. So we're going to inhale here and exhale. Find that length in that leg. Inhale, return. Exhale, press. Inhale, return. Exhale, press. Make sure that tailbone's still reaching down and long. We haven't smushed that grape, I hope. Okay, we're pulling those ribs down. Good, we have one more. Good, and exhale. Very nice. Good, lower those feet to the foot bar. Hang up that handle. We're going back to the other side. Okay, so hand back in that small loop. I'm all tangled up here. All right, so I'm going to be in a little frog position. Okay, again, my hand's in the handle, my right hand is along the wrist. We're going to pull this strap through our legs, okay? And then as we inhale, we're returning up. Okay, so we'll do 5 like this. So exhale down, inhale, exhale, inhale. Good. Last 3. Good, and 2. Good, and 1. Okay, we're going to do 5 more. We're going to add a double leg extension, or like a frog, right? As we push down with our arm, our legs are going to both extend at the same time. Okay, so here we go. We're going to inhale here, and exhale, extend. Inhale, return. Exhale, press. Inhale, exhale. Good, inhale, exhale. Last 2. Exhale. And last 1. Exhale. Return on up. Good. Close the carriage all the way. Lower that strap to the bar and switch to the other side. Bring those feet to our frog position. Okay, so our knees are about shoulder distance apart. Hands in the strap. My left hand's just along the wrist for a little extra support. So we're going to inhale here and exhale, press into the middle. Inhale, exhale. Good. Inhale up. Exhale. Nice. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Last one. Now we're adding that extension. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale. And 3. Good. 4. And last one. And very good. Return that carriage to a closed position. Lower those feet. All right, and we will hang up that handle. Okay, hope you all are doing well. We're going to go right into some leg work, single leg work, okay? I am going to leave just 2 springs on. All right, so let's extend that carriage out with our feet. I'm putting my strap into the long loop, okay? Once we're in position, we're going to bring both legs up to tabletop, okay? We're going to lift the one that's in the strap up to the ceiling. We're going to lower it down. So we inhale down and exhale, lift. Okay, so we're really pushing with the back side of our body, our leg, right? The glutes and the hamstrings. Our core is helping to stabilize us. Okay, so inhale, press. Good. And press. Okay, now we're going to add a little extra movement with the bottom leg. So we're going to go into like a scissor. Okay, so extend that right leg long over the foot bar and press the left down as the right comes up, and then switch. Good, and press down and lift. Good, switch. And just inhale and exhale. Keep the breath flowing. Keep the tailbone long. Keep the belly pulling in. Keep those ribs pulling down. Good, let's take 3 more. 3. Good, 2. Nice. And 1. Very good. Bend that knee back into tabletop position. Okay, we're going to extend long with the left leg, the right knee's into the chest, and then we're going to switch. It's kind of like the single leg stretch from the mat stomach series. Okay, and switch. Switch. Good. Inhale and exhale. Good. 1 more. Good. Now hold here. Let's all find our upper ab curl, and let's do another 5. Inhale, exhale. Good. Exhale. 3. Good. 4. Nice. And 5. Very good. Lower your head down. I want us all to place the right leg, the heel onto the foot bar, and extend your left leg long, or the leg that's in the strap. Okay, so make sure we try to close that carriage all the way. We're going to bridge up. So we're going to be actually using more of the leg that's the one that's not in the strap. Okay, so we're going to find articulation. We're going to peel our spine up just a little bit. I want us to feel like there's some tension on the foot that's in the strap. Okay, as long as, and also, I mean, the leg that you're stabilizing with on the foot bar is doing a lot of work as well. So we're going to start to articulate down. Just always keep some tension on this strap. Okay, so we're inhaling, push with the leg that's on that foot bar as we go up. And exhale as you lower down with control. Inhaling, lifting. Good. Exhale as you lower. And inhale. Up. And exhale. Down. Let's do one more. Inhale, scoop. And lift. And exhale all the way down. Just take a minute. If you want to pull that strap, give yourself a little stretch. Okay, I'm also going to open it out to the side. Just stretch it out a moment. Nice. Okay, kind of whatever feels good in that for you and your body. Okay, once you're done stretching, hang up that handle. We're going to side 2. All right, so extend that carriage out and place your foot in the long strap. Bring both legs to tabletop. Make sure we're maintaining that neutral spine. Okay, extend the leg that's in the strap up towards the ceiling. Inhale to lower down and exhale to lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Good, lower. And lift. Keep breathing. Inhaling. Exhale. Last one. And now we're adding the other leg. So extend the opposite leg long over top of the foot bar. We're going to go to our scissors. So push down and switch. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. Good. Return back to tabletop position. Okay, we're going into that single leg extension. So extend the non-strapped leg over that foot bar and then switch and switch. So opposite knee to chest and switch. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Good. 2 more. Release. Last one. Now hold. Find your upper ab curl. Here we go. We got 5 more. So press, release, and 2. Good. So still reach those hands nice and long. And press, release. Last 2. Great job. Here we go. Last one. Release and return your head down and back to tabletop. Let's all put the non-strapped foot onto that foot bar and extend the other leg up to the ceiling. We're going through those bridges, okay? So we're going to scoop the tailbone. Start lifting your bottom up. Good. And then exhale as you articulate down. So we're making sure we're having a little bit of tension on the strap. And we're not going too high because our headrest is still up. So we don't want to compress our spine. Okay, so we're just doing a little bridge. Okay, but more so single leg, right? So you should really feel that glute and hamstring firing. Okay, we're also getting that isometric contraction by pushing the foot into the strap, just so there's a little bit of tension. Good. Exhale, articulate down. 2 more. Inhale to scoop up. And exhale, articulate. And last time. Inhale, scoop. And exhale, articulate down. Very good. Grab a hold of that strap and just stretch it out. Either your adductors, hamstrings, kind of whatever feels good. Okay. It's interesting when you're working more single leg or single arm, right? You can really start to see some imbalances in our body. So, all right, let's bring our legs up to tabletop. We'll inhale here and exhale. Let's tease her up. Nicely done. Okay, so I'm going to drop down just to one heavy spring. Okay, I'm going to position myself kind of into the middle, maybe a little off center. Okay, I'm going to put my strap over top of my thigh. Okay, now to position yourself, you want to make sure. So this strap is going to want to pull you off center. Okay, so as we position ourselves, I really want you to think about your hip points are facing forward in line with our shoulders. Our belly is scooping up and the ribs are pulling down. Okay, now we can hold on to the back side of the carriage here. Okay, we're going to scoop our belly and kind of round, really pull our belly in, stabilizing us. Okay, so this is an option. Okay, you can also hold your hands out if you want a little bit more of a challenge. We'll scoop and hold there. Okay, so this is kind of some sneaky work because it doesn't look like much. We're going to lift that knee up and lower it down. Okay, so lift. So your inner thighs, even your glutes, have to really work to not let that carriage pull you back, right? Okay, so you really have to focus, a lot of mindfulness here, keeping our position. And exhale, we're still scooping, still pulling the ribs down, belly in. Let's do two more. Lift, lower, and we'll lift and hold here. And then just pull it in an inch and back to center. And two. So lots of inner thigh. Good, three. Return. And four. Good, we're going to eight. Keep scooping, keep rounding. Good, last two. Good, and one. Nice. Lower that leg as you articulate all the way back up. All right, let's transition to the other leg. Okay, so we're putting that strap all the way in. So definitely a little bit more tension here. Okay, so this one's going to be challenging a little bit more of the outer glute, right? Because this band's going to pull us this way. So we got to use this glute to keep us neutral. Okay, so let's all make sure we're in our neutral position. Hip bones are facing forward, shoulders and hips are in line. If you're using those arms forward, go ahead, reach out. Again, the option, if you need a little extra stability, is to still scoop in that low belly, kind of that C curve, but you just have a little bit of extra support from the arms, okay? But if we're reaching forward, here we go. We're going to inhale here and scoop back and hold. Okay, so just tiny little marches, lift and lower. So just pay attention to that right. It's my right, okay, but my right leg here, my glute is really working to not allow that band to recoil that way, right? So we got to use our glutes, stabilize our core to keep our body in a good position. Okay, let's do three more. And lower, pull those abs in, pull those ribs down. Last one, I'll hold it up. Now out an inch and in an inch. Good, two. And close. Squeeze that glute as you open. Good. Here's four. Release. Good. And five. Release. Good. Here's seven. Nice. And one more. Eight. Good. And articulate up. Whew. Let's remove the strap. Let the carriage come to a close. I'm going to find, so two options. You could do tall kneeling, which would be up here. I would say put your knees against the shoulder blocks for a little extra stability. Okay. If that is too advanced, you can simply kind of sit back onto your heels. Okay. We're going into rows. Okay. So this will just be a little less challenging just because you have a little bit more base of support. Third and more advanced option, okay, is to bring one foot into the footrest and the other, my other foot is kind of hooked on the bottom of the carriage. Okay, all right, so obviously less base of support, so it's going to be more challenging on our core. All right, so we're going to do a single arm row. Okay, so my tailbone's reaching down and long. My ribs are pulled in. We're going to pull the arm back and then extend. Inhale, exhale, nice, and pull. Okay, so there is a light spring, but in some ways it's a little bit more challenging on our core, right? Because you really have to coordinate and stabilize while this carriage is in motion. Okay, inhale, exhale. Let's do 2 more. 2, release, and last one, pull, release. Now we're going to hinge our body forward. I'm going to pull this strap and find a tricep. 5, good. 4 and 3, good. 2 and 1, very nice. Return to an upright position. Hang of that handle. We're going to side 2. I will be facing behind you. Okay, so we're going to sit onto the carriage, grab your strap, and hook it around your thigh. Remember to find your square position, right? Hips facing forward, shoulders are in line. We're going to reach tall, or again, hold at the back of your carriage for a little extra stability. We're going to scoop the tailbone and hold there. We're going to go into 8 marches. So lift up and down. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Nice. Inhale. Exhale. Good. So really feel that adductor, your inner thigh, working to stabilize your position. Use your low belly to maintain this kind of tall C position of your spine. Last one. Good. Now lift and hold. Pull that knee across and then release. And 2. Good. Keep breathing. 3 and 4. Good. Here's 5. 3 more. 6 and 7. Last one. And 8. Good. Find center. Lower that leg and remove the strap. Okay. Bring it over the other side. Okay. This one's where we're going to find a little bit more of our outer glute. Okay. Same position. Okay. So we'll square the body off. Inhale here. Exhale. Scoop back. Okay. In that tall C position, make sure the shoulders are away from the ears. Start marching that leg up and down. Good. And 2. So find that glute, that outer glute, helping to really keep your leg in a good alignment. Down. Good. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. 2 more. Up. Good. And up and hold. Out an inch, in an inch. And 2. So squeeze that glute as you open out. Good. 4. Nice. And 5. Good. 6. Nice job. 7 and 8. Return to center and roll yourself all the way up. Remove that band. Nice job. Close that carriage all the way and then transition back up to the carriage for our single arm work. Again, you can go the tall kneeling, sitting onto your heels, or bringing that opposite leg into the headrest. My ankle is really kind of against the shoulder block, okay, just for a little extra stability. Okay, we're kneeling or tall kneeling, nice and upright, tailbones down, belly's in, ribs are in. Okay, we're rowing first. Inhale and exhale. Good. 2 and release. Pull that shoulder blade back. Really pull the belly in. 4. Good. 4 more. Nice job. 2. Good. Here's 3 and 4. Good. Now I'm just going to simply hinge my body forward. Okay, so you can do the same thing if you're in a different position. Okay, pull that elbow back and find the tricep for 1. Good. And 2. Nice. 3 and a 4. Good. And a 5. Nice job. Close that carriage all the way. Hang up that handle and step off your reformer. I'm going to add one other heavy spring. We're going to go into down stretch, okay, and then we'll go into elephant, okay? So we'll start with our down stretch. Bring the feet in front of each shoulder block. Okay, I'm bringing my pelvis forward. I know you can't really see my head, but that's okay. Pelvis is forward, so we're in a little bit of extension. Our belly, though, is still scooping up and in. We're going to push with our heels and our arms. Inhale as you go out, and exhale as you come in. Once you come in, I want you to do a little push-up and release. And again, inhale out, out, exhale, close, close, and push up. 2, and lift for 2. Good, out for 2. In for 2. Push up. 2, and up. Good. 2 more. 2. Good. Release for 2. And push up. Good. And release. Final one. Here, out for 2. In for 2. Push up. Good. Up you go. Nice. Make sure that carriage is coming to all the way to a close. Springs stay the same. We're stepping up onto the reformer. Our heels are back against the shoulder block. Our toes are lifting up to the ceiling, and we're scooping and rounding our belly. Our head is diving down towards our knees, and our belly is scooping up to the ceiling. We're going for our elephant, so we're kicking out a couple inches and in. Inhale out, exhale in. So really use your belly. Good. Dive that head down. Remember, think about really pulling the core up and in. The only thing that shouldn't be moving is your legs. Good. Give me 2 more. Scoop. Good. And out. Okay, we're transitioning to one-legged elephant. So extend one leg nice and long. Okay, here we go again. Inhale out. And exhale, close. So we're trying to keep the same position. Our belly is scooping up. Our head is dived down to our knees. The back leg that's off the carriage is reaching nice and long. Our pelvis is neutral. Good. Last one. Nice. Close that carriage all the way and switch. Okay. Opposite leg is reaching nice and long. Scoop the belly up. Okay. Toes are lifted as well. Here we go for 5. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Press out. And release. And out. Release. Last 2. Release. Good. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Good. Lower that foot forward towards the edge of the carriage and step yourself off. Nice job. All right, let's finish with a couple little stretches. Okay, ankle over the knee. I'm going to kind of lean my body, push this knee down if that feels comfortable. And I'm just going to kind of fold myself over this leg to feel that glute stretching out, that hip external rotation. Okay. Now I'm also going to do another variation where I'm going to pull this knee towards my opposite shoulder and then open my arm out. So we're in a little bit of a rotation with our spine. You'll get a little bit deeper, different angle of the muscle. This should feel really nice. Make sure we're breathing. Good, and release when you're ready. And switch. Okay, cross the ankle over. All right, fold down, gentle pressure down from the elbow, down with the knee, just to get a little bit extra external rotation from that hip. Should feel good. Nice job. Now pull that knee up towards your opposite shoulder, kind of hug it into the chest, and open that arm. Find rotation here. Inhaling. Exhale, maybe twist one little bit more. Nice. Good. And release. We're going to finish with one more little scooter stretch. So I'm going to bump my resistance down just to 1 spring. I have 1 heavy spring. Again, this is just a stretch. Okay, so adjust accordingly. Bring that front foot towards the top of your carriage and simply let the carriage move out to feel a nice, good stretch in our hip flexor. Okay, we're trying to get that thigh straight onto our carriage. Good, let's close and repeat. So pressing out. Okay, whatever leg that you have on your carriage, reach that same arm up into a little side bend. Get a little bit deeper. If that doesn't feel good, just stick with the arms both onto the footrest. Okay, bring that arm back if you were doing that variation. Close that carriage and sit your butt back. Flex those toes so you get a nice good hamstring stretch here and calf. Inhale and exhale. Good. Nice. All right. I'm going to kind of walk over, just careful as you transition to the other side. Okay, so here we go. We're pressing out, finding length. Make sure our trunk is upright. You'll get a little deeper into that stretch. Good. And close. And again, let that muscle really release. That option to add that same arm and then side bend away from the leg just to get a little deeper. That feels good to you. Good. Return and bring that carriage in. Sit your butt back and extend that leg and flex the ankles or toes up to the ceiling for a nice good calf and hamstring stretch. Good. Once you're ready, okay, I'm going to step back over, but that is it. Okay, I hope you really felt the benefit of kind of working in a unilateral variations. You can really see some differences and maybe some imbalances in our body. It's very common to have one side a little stronger than the other. So once you have identified that, that's a good way to start strengthening. Maybe do a few more reps on the one side that might be a little bit weaker. So it's a good learning tool, a good way to strengthen our body and tone everything up. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Again, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe below, and I look forward to seeing you next time.